Have you ever stopped to consider that your biggest financial challenge might not be the government, the lack of opportunities, or even a small paycheck, but the way you think? What if I told you that changing just one habit could completely transform your financial life? Would you believe me? My name is Bob Rector, and what I'm about to share with you may go against everything you were taught about money growing up. But these ideas have the power to set you free. There was a time when I earned only about $1,600 a year while drowning in $2,400 of debt. I thought that was just how life worked. Do you know that heavy feeling in your chest when you realize your wallet is almost empty? Or the dread when your phone rings, fearing it's the bank or a debt collector on the line? It feels as though you're shrinking inside, ashamed, with no way to escape a cycle that keeps turning, but never moves you forward. So many people spend their entire lives in that cycle, buried not only in financial debt, but in a mindset of debt. From childhood, we've all heard phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, life is hard, you have to sweat for every penny. And without realizing it, those words sink deep into our subconscious. The mind doesn't reject them, it accepts them as absolute truth. And then we live our lives according to those beliefs. You've seen it before, people who are intelligent and hardworking, yet stuck in the same place year after year. It isn't a lack of talent, it's the boundaries of their thinking. Maybe you've asked yourself, why does this always happen to me? Why does money slip away so easily? Why do others succeed while I can't seem to? I asked myself those same questions for years. I thought the problem was the world, bad luck. Maybe even that I was destined for a small, limited life. Then I met a mentor. He looked me in the eye, wrote the letter R on a piece of paper and said, Bob, this stands for results. Results never lie. They reflect exactly what's going on inside you. He wasn't talking about the outside world. He was pointing directly to my inner world. At the time, I was unhappy, frequently ill, and financially broken. I was failing in all three areas: happiness, health, and wealth. Not because I didn't work hard, but because I had trained myself to think with a mindset of scarcity. He told me, if you read this every day and apply what I teach exactly as I say, you can achieve anything you truly want. At first, I wasn't sure I believed him, but what struck me was how completely he believed it. Maybe that's the very reason you're watching this video today. For the first time, I followed someone's advice. I wrote my goal on a small card, carried it in my pocket, and read it every morning and every night. At first, nothing changed in my finances, but everything changed in my focus. Before, my thoughts were consumed by debt. Now, I began to think about how to earn money. Where I used to see only problems, I started noticing opportunities. One day, someone mentioned earning money by cleaning offices. That simple idea resonated with me, and I acted on it. In less than a year, I was free of debt and moving forward. Within 5 years, without a degree or any formal experience, I was running an international business, and all of it began with one thing: a new way of thinking. Now ask yourself, how many times have you had a great idea only to dismiss it with the thought, that's not for me? How many times have you stopped yourself from taking action just because you gave up before you even tried? You're not lazy, you're not foolish, and you're not unlucky. You've simply been conditioned to think in a way that no longer serves you. The good news is you can change it. If you're willing to look within, to challenge those old beliefs that have been shaping you since childhood, you can transform your entire world. Don't settle for an average life as if it's your destiny, because it isn't. Your true destiny is abundance. But first, you have to make a choice. That was the moment I decided, enough is enough. The old way of thinking has cost you far too much already. Now, it's time to change. When you stop chasing only what's outside and turn your focus inward, something remarkable begins to unfold. Something most people never even dare to imagine. What once felt out of reach suddenly becomes possible, though never in the way you might expect. The world doesn't move for those who simply watch. It shifts for those who dare to lead, for those bold enough to carve their own way forward. Many of us grew up believing that the path to success was imitation, that walking in someone else's footsteps was the only way to get ahead. I believed that too, for a long time. For years, I watched those who seemed powerful, whose voices carried farther than mine ever did. I wondered constantly, what do they have that I don't? How did they reach heights I only dreamed about? But the more I measured my journey compared to the paths of others, the smaller I felt, as if my destiny could never measure up. After countless failures and sleepless nights, I stumbled upon a truth that forever altered my direction. The universe responds to where you choose to stand. And if that ground lies in the weight of others' expectations, or the boundaries society has drawn for you, you will never stand on solid earth. But when you root yourself in who you are, when you recognize your worth, your dreams, and your beliefs, you stand on ground no one can take away. I've seen this proven not just in my own life, but in every genuinely successful person I've studied. Take Andrew Carnegie, for instance. He never judged himself against the fortunes of others. Born in a tiny one-room home, he had nothing but hope and an unshakable determination to write his own story. While many got lost chasing society's standards, Carnegie turned inward, and there he found something that neither poverty could erase nor fear could conquer: the courage to shape his own destiny. I felt the same truth when I was still young. Every time I compared my small steps to someone else's brilliance, I wandered further from my real path. There were nights when I asked myself, who am I to guide anyone? Who am I to believe my voice matters? But in those moments, I would close my eyes, take a deep breath, and remind myself, no one else can live my life for me. The world only yields to those who find their true center. It's easy to weigh your value against the visible results of others. But what no one else sees, and what you may not yet realize, is the unique spark burning inside you. A way of thinking, a way of feeling that belongs only to you. And every time you hide that spark just to fit someone else's mold, you forfeit the one creation only you were meant to bring into the world. I remember once speaking to a group of young people. Many of them believed that success meant copying others, their words, their habits, even their appearance. I listened quietly and then shared the lesson I had learned from Carnegie and from my own path. The greatest tragedy isn't failure. It's spending your life trying to live someone else's. For a moment, silence filled the room. Some looked doubtful, but in the eyes of a few I saw a spark ignite. They realized the answer had never been outside. It had been within them all along. Now I want you to ask yourself, how many times have you abandoned something you knew was right for you simply because it didn't align with the crowd? How many times have you silenced your inner voice out of fear that others wouldn't accept or recognize you? You must understand this. Real strength isn't found on the road already paved. It's found in the courage to lay down a road of your own, even if no one else believes in it. This doesn't mean cutting yourself off from the world. Not at all. It means letting every opinion, every piece of advice, every ideal pass through the filter of your own heart. And above all, it means giving yourself the time and space to listen to your own voice. That's a practice I've made part of my daily life. Every morning,